The lights are back on at Lynn Family Stadium as Lou City returns home to take on Birmingham Legion. Paolo Del Piccolo, after 2 goals in the season opening win over Atlanta United 2, welcomes in Bruno Lapa and a Legion team looking for win number 1. It's Birmingham, it's Louisville, and it's next. So Lou City back at home for their 2nd game of the season. Tonight they welcome in Central Division opponent Birmingham Legion FC. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern, the first of 4 matchups between these 2 teams in 2021. But for Lou City coming into this game, the big news, Danny Cruz is in, John Hackworth is out.
Shockwave sent around the entire USL Championship 12 days ago. But let's talk about where we've come from and where we're going. John Hackworth comes in midway through the 2018 season, all the way back on August 2nd. Why? Wake Forest, United States men's national team, USF head coach, and this is what he's done since. Of course, the title in 2018, that would make it 2 in a row for Lou City. Eastern Conference winner in 19, they would fall short. They would get back there, and oh, by the way, part of Coach of the Year. Enter the new era. Danny Cruz, MLS, Norway First Division, NASL, Soccer Bowl champ, USL with the Monarchs. He's done it all as a player, and now he steps in as the head coach of Louisville City. Understand this. This is an easy transition for Louisville City. It's about culture. It's about success. He's been a part of it for a couple of years now. This is going to be easy for Lou City to move forward, but they have to go quick because the next 3 games are very tough, Josh.
And on the other side for Birmingham Legion, this is a pretty solid team, and Ryan James comes in to help supplement what they had last year.
Brought back a core group of players. Van Okel, fantastic in goal. Of course, he's part of the goalkeeping academy and taking care of all the goalkeepers in general. Ryan James at the outside back, coming over from Pittsburgh Riverhounds, shape-shifting in formations, play in the middle, on the outside. For me, the best quote-unquote rookie of the year. We don't give that award, but if we could, Bruno Lapa. Man coming out of Wake Forest was on fire. Nico Brett felt like, from what I've heard, that he had an off year. Not the case with 9 goals and 3 assists. These guys will have an impact. Now, can everybody else around them step up to the cause? Because this is one of the most talked about teams in the Eastern Conference.
So Birmingham Legion, a loss last time out against Indy 11, but now they make the trip north to Louisville. Can they get the win over Lou City? Lineups and first kick coming up next from Lynn Family Stadium.
Summer's here, and with a great deal on a new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer sports, like softball, beach volleyball, triathlons, woo, racing, golf. Whoa! Someone needs lessons.
Get $750 customer cash on an adventurous new 21 RAV4. Or lease this RAV4 for just $199 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance included.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
For the last 70 years, Commonwealth Credit Union has been bettering lives in our communities and putting members first in everything we do. So to celebrate 70 years of service, we're committing to 70 acts of service, from partnering with the Make-A-Wish Foundation to hosting community blood drives.
If you have an act of service you think we should complete this year, we want to hear from you. Visit our website to submit your idea for consideration as we make our 70th year one to remember.
Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
In the United States, we see more tornado outbreaks than anywhere else in the world. Being prepared is being safer. Tornadoes start as an EF0. 65 to 85 mile-an-hour winds will cause broken tree limbs and roof damage. As this tornado travels, it will intensify. This tornado now looks more like a stovepipe with winds hovering around 135 miles an hour. An EF2 tornado can destroy mobile homes and snap power poles. If you are without a basement, keep as many walls between you and the outside as possible. We now have reached EF4 level with winds hovering around 185 miles an hour. This tornado is now so powerful, it's obliterating everything it touches, strong enough that it can send a truck flying through the air. As cold air wraps around the storm, it breaks the funnel apart. Be prepared with the WDRB weather team.
Tonight's lineup's presented by Hometown Pizza. Danny Cruz's first 11.
Let's start with Louisville City, and there are a couple changes, namely at right back, Pat McMahon. Oscar Jimenez picked up a little knock yesterday. He will not be featured, not even in the 18. Antoine Opino, saw him come as a substitute at the end of the game. A lot of energy, a lot of passion. They're hoping that translates to the start of this match. But I want to keep an eye on a player in the midfield, Akil Watts. He's going to be your Commonwealth Credit Union player to watch. And the reason being is it's the 6th spot for this team that is going to be most missed. Speedy Williams going to Miami FC. Is it going to be Akil Watts? Is it going to be Tyler Gibson? Right now, it's the 21-year-old from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He's got to step up. Was good last game. Time to continue that progression. Let's look at the visitors and Birmingham Legion. For Tommy Sohn, J.J. Williams gets the red card at the end of their match. Prosper Kasim, who was great in the second half, he steps in on the left wing. And how about Alex Crognali? That is going to be a big miss on the back line. Fanuel Kavita will be able to leave, but Matt Van Opel has to keep an eye on young Benu Femu coming over from Philadelphia Union. Great product, but can slip in and out of spaces at certain points in time. You have to keep him focused. Of course, the outside backs, Johnny Dean and Ryan James, love to get going in transition.
And it'll be Eli Crognali, Alex's brother, on the bench. So here we go. Looking forward to this one tonight. The first time these two teams will face off in 2021. And there is the captain, Paolo Del Piccolo, coming off that brace against Atlanta United 2.
This is coach on 3, correct?
Of course, it's Louisville in those home purple kits in 2021, while Birmingham will be wearing all red tonight, the alternate kit for the Legion. What do you think of the red?
I'm a big fan of the red. You know, I think we need to have a conversation with the interior decorator at Lynn Family Stadium. The purple and red clash a little bit. I love the jerseys at individuals, but you know, on screen, haven't really figured it out yet.
Tonight's referee is Joshua Encarnacion. There he is, and we are just about set, waiting on his whistle. Lou City 1-0, Birmingham Legion 0-1. Here we go. Lou City and Birmingham Legion tonight from Lynn Family Stadium. Thanks for joining us. Always fun at this great new venue in its 2nd year. And Tosh will play a long ball over the top, looking for Lancaster, and already this has to be knocked out of play. It'll be a throw-in deep in the attacking third for Lou City. Now McMahon. Cutting in field, Bone goes down. Referee will point just outside the box. Free kick, Louisville.
It's really close here, Josh, because this movement starts right next to Fanuel Kavita, and the knock occurs just outside of the box. It's a little arm right there he grabs. To be fair, little gamesmanship here by Corbin Bone. He actually falls inside of the box. There's not a lot of contact, but good job, because as they slide over, when Mikey Lopez shifts out, the minimal amount of contact there is right outside of the box. Great refereeing.
And early on, it's a 5th-3rd free kick. In swinger, Van Oekel has to put this over. Corner kick. So a flying start here for Lou City. And Birmingham Legion having to defend early on.
Good save by Van Oekel. And he has to be so careful here, because you have to shift and watch out for the cheeky little touch on the near post. You have to account for the long ball to the back. You're not necessarily thinking that the most difficult one, coming all the way to the backside that no one attempts, is going to come your direction. Well done by the goalkeeper early on.
Jonathan Gomez. Play this towards the top of the box. Akil Watts will send this in from a different angle. Diving header will put this out. Another corner kick coming for Lou City. And look at Danny Cruz in charge of his first match for Lou City. Another corner kick. Here comes the in-swinger. Towards Van Oekel. This one headed in. Pat McMahon. And Lou City off to a flying start tonight at home.
It has turned into the perfect storm for Birmingham Legion. On the road, the fans, the pitch, the emotion, all of it. You wondered whether or not it would swing positive for Lou City, and it has. Wave after wave of attack in the opening 5 minutes. All from set pieces, tit for tat on opposite ends of the corners. Ball whipped in and fantastically done by Pat McMahon. His run just peeling off the shoulder, head right through, textbook into the corner.
That goal is presented by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education. Kentucky Lottery. It's McMahon's first goal since 2019. Made 14 starts a year ago, entering his 4th season with Lou City. This one knocked ahead Lopez. All the way to the end line. Lopez will send the cross in. And out of play. This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Lapa stepping in. Del Piccolo. James, fortunate deflection. This one will go out for a throw-in. Tonight's keys to the game are powered by Kentucky Lottery, who reminds you that lottery proceeds fund college scholarship and grant programs, including every dollar of the popular Keys Scholarship Program. Cross coming in, brought down, Lapa, shot blocked. Another drive from outside as Sidu will have this go out of play for a goal kick, and let's get to those keys to the game once more.
It's 4 to score for Louisville City. The reason being the rotation on the back line that was against Atlanta United 2. We've seen it from the outside backs, but there was some good movement from Lexi Swahi and Sean Tosh coming off, really breaking that first line of pressure, allowing the midfield 3 to go to work, and of course combine with their front line. It's got to be magic in the middle though for Birmingham Legion and Tommy Sohn. Specifically, their holding midfielders, Mikey Lopez and Anderson Acedu, got stuck defending a lot, and there was this gap about 15 to 20 yards in between the 2 holding midfielders and Bruno Lapa. They were fortunate that Indy 11 didn't exploit it more, but that's going to be gravy for Louisville City if they can pick those spots out.
Tom Sohn's biggest takeaway was just it was a frustrating night. He did mention the field. Of course, both teams play on the same field, so both teams have the same excuse, but he said he needs to find ways to adapt, not good enough in the attack. And we'll see if they can fix those here coming into game number 2.
I have a lot of respect for Tom Sohn in general, and when we were chatting with him, Josh, I said, to be fair, which half did you attack better in? And I was trying to lead him down the path that I thought they were better in the second half. Still not good, but they were better. And credit to Sohn, he stepped up and said, Devin, I'll be honest, we just weren't good in either half. We need to be better all around.
Here's Cervania. Cervania, saved by Hubbard. Well, there's something in the attack for Birmingham. And of course, Birmingham Legion without some big pieces tonight. J.J. Williams, you mentioned Alex Cromnale, Junior Fleming still out, all for Birmingham. J.J. Williams picking up a red card a week ago. Watts will play this down the channel. Fanuel Kavita there to usher it out for a goal kick. We talked to Danny Cruz about what this last week has been like for the club. Of course, with John Hackworth parting ways after being the head coach since 2018, said it was really just about making sure the players are ready. At the end of the day, you still have a job to do, and said the mentality and training has been great. He also mentioned it can go one of 2 ways, and it's so early in the season, you don't want it to go south this quickly, but you kind of mentioned it with Danny Cruz stepping in, they kind of pick up right where they left off. As Kasim plays this ahead, Lopez. His cross into the middle is knocked away. It'll be a Birmingham throw-in.
It's much better movement already, though, from Birmingham Legion from the exterior, where Jaden Cervinia did well for himself in that first match against City 11, but he didn't have the balance on the left side with J.J. Williams, who struggled, to be fair. And, you know, for an out-and-out number 9 being branched out onto that left wing, the way that Indy 11 was set up, it was very difficult for him to get involved in the run of play. And Nico Brett wasn't at his best either. And so when you're trying to find a way to get this high-powered attack going forward, because trust me, this will be one of those teams in the Eastern Conference, once they get everybody healthy and they have all of their pieces, that will be at the top of all those positive statistics offensively. But in that opening match, they just weren't there, and it's going to take a little bit of time. But the fact that, you know, Junior Flemings, this is his last game from suspension, of course, set forth 6 games after what went on in 2020. He'll be back next time out. You know, you get Cronali healthy on the back line. J.J. Williams comes back from suspension. A couple of pieces there. You turn the corner, Josh. And of course, we're just 10 minutes in here. There's a long way to go, but you turn the corner. Memphis, San Antonio, OKC, Atlanta 2. They could easily win 3 out of those 4.
Yep. Lapa knocking this forward. Nico Brett cut off by Sean Tosh and taken by Chris Hubbard, tonight's starting goalkeeper. Corbin Bone will get this out wide to that left side. More time on the ball here for Lou City. Already an early goal. The defender, Pat McMahon. In those opening few minutes that led to that Louisville goal, Birmingham barely had a touch of the ball. Here's Bruno Lapa playing this in. Brett's shot is blocked. Lopez will keep this in. Kasim will send this towards goal, and Lopez did touch that last out for a goal kick.
There has been a quality press here from Birmingham Legion that's only getting better with time, Josh, and well done forcing the mistake by Pat McMahon. And watch the vision by Lapa. Great little ball through. The problem is the ball by Nico Brett is behind him, and he has to readjust, but the secondary wave coming. Mikey Lopez gets involved. Prosper Kasim trying to find him. All hands on deck for Lou City defending.
It seems like a good response so far from Birmingham after conceding inside of 3 minutes. Here's Jonathan Gomez. And those talented youngsters that have seemingly been linked to very big clubs around the world. Gomez plays this forward, Openo, and runs through for Van Okel in goal. Flicked along, Lopez. Outside of the right foot, crafty ball in, and it's cleared away by Gomez. Now Ryan James. Lopez getting it wide for James again. A bit of a new look back line this year for Birmingham Legion. With Fanuel Kavita coming over from St. Louis, Ben Ofemu sliding in after he was signed on May 1st after time in the Philadelphia Union organization. And you think one of those big signings was Ryan James making this throw in now coming over from Pittsburgh.
And they've not only added quality, but they've added depth as well. And Mikey Lopez reassuming his role within the midfield, who had basically become their outside left back. And he did well for Birmingham Legion. But respectfully, there is no comparison between he and Ryan James. It's just for a guy who plays his entire position on the interior of the park in his career, referencing Mikey Lopez, capable of playing outside back for sure and fulfilling a purpose. But when you're a team that's trying to make a run at a title, you've got to up the ante, as they say, and they definitely did that with Ryan James. And they also shored up that left center back spot, which has been a rotating door of players because of form, definitely because of injury. And you finally get your hands on Manuel Cavita after the departure of St. Louis FC from USL Championship. Still really like Johnny Dean, by the way, at the outside back position. Yeah. I thought he had himself a great rookie season. Of course, drafted 39th overall by Orlando City. Didn't pick up a contract there, but did have 17 appearances for the Legion last year, and the kid can really fly. Good vision, excellent speed, and his ability to read the game at such a young age at this level, I was really impressed with.
A goal and 5 assists a year ago for Dean. The only one on this back line that was part of Birmingham a year ago. This will be a free kick. Bruno Lapa standing over it now for Birmingham Legion. Look at Tom Sohn. This one will be swung in. Hubbard there to punch it away. Top of the box shot comes on and out of play. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Ockel's distribution headed out of play by McMahon. Lapa. So creative on the ball for Birmingham. 8 goals and 5 assists last year for Lapa. Lopez Masoso. He was pulled back. It'll be a foul.
Interesting that they have moved Masoso down deeper into the midfield and allowed Akil Watts to push higher. So accustomed to seeing Napo Masoso out on this right flank, and a matchup that obviously Danny Cruz feels like he's going to be happier with. Let's see how that plays out, because Akil Watts was so good at just allowing this game to continue to usher itself in a positive direction. Maybe distribution-wise, they lacked a little bit. Those long balls over the top and some of the pressure in the middle that our referee just experienced around the center circle.
Turf monster.
No harm, no foul. They're around for everybody.
Hopped right back up like a champ.
What that does give you, though, Joss, is an added dimension in terms of possession, where Akil Watts moving to this right side a little bit. He still carries some quality pace and can whip in a great ball. Remember, they've used him at outside back as well, right back namely. So though Pat McMahon is there, he's very familiar with the surroundings out on this right-hand side and the relationships that can cultivate itself as the match goes on. And he can still tuck himself inside as well, so you can create a 4 or 5-man front in the middle, overloading, which goes back to my point, that magic in the middle for Birmingham Legion and how many players you're going to have to mark. You have to get your spacing just right when it comes to all the rotation for Louisville City.
This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Wide for Cervania. Lopez gets this wide. Johnny Dean's low ball in. It's a little bit too slow there to find Nico Brett. Another chance here for Birmingham. A good tackle coming in. Play will continue. Players all over the field. And this will go back to Lou City. Here's Corbin Bone, looking to distribute in behind Ryan James, who cuts it off. And now it's Watts. Watts gets in behind James. Akil Watts all the way to the back post. And this might stay in play. Del Piccolo tracking it down. Now out for a throw-in.
There's that ball I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
And the kid can move with the best of them, and really well done to explode down to the byline. Head always on a swivel for Akil Watts, because it's not just the pressure. He's got to get going here, and he's got to do it quickly, because Ryan James has great speed of his own, recognizes that he's got some space, and it's that long touch, the initial one past Ryan James, that makes it that much more difficult for the defender. Josh, you take small ones there, he can square his hips up, turn that shoulder over, and get into a tackle. Instead, that long touch on the outside allows Watts to get down in and knock a ball back across.
Tosh able to head that away. Battle for it now in the midfield. Lancaster. Gomez. Quick passing here from Lou City. Ofemu there to cover it up for Birmingham. Suwahi will get there first and knock it back now for Hubbard. First 20 minutes gone, and an early goal from this man, Pat McMahon. Van Okel distributing from the back once more. Openo. Really smooth and quick passing so far from Lou City in the early going. Flicked ahead, looking for the run of Lancaster. Will run back for Van Okel. At the end of last year, Birmingham, it looked like they were going to win that Group G, but just one win in the final 6 games before they were then eliminated in the first round by the Tampa Bay Rowdies. But 2 straight playoff appearances for this Birmingham Legion side in their first 2 years of existence, and Tom Sohn seems to be building something really good down in Birmingham.
Remember, Josh, the way that the group was playing out, there was a chance if North Carolina would have won that final game, they could have knocked them out. They wouldn't have even made the playoffs. But he has definitely, alongside the likes of Jay Heaps, of course, their president and general manager, Homer Duke, and MLS great, done very well for themselves. You know, very rarely do you see that expansion franchise come out and make an immediate impact. We saw that from the Birmingham Legion, and ever since then, they've, much like Lou City, set new standards for themselves every year. And it's easy for someone to say that from a club, yet alone to be able to go out and perform. And we've definitely seen that from the Birmingham Legion. And what I love about it is keeping not just a core group of players, but the big impactful ones, right? It's one thing to return 12 players. If 7 of them were coming off the bench, what does it matter? You know, you're keeping guys like Van Okel, Cronali, Mikey Lopez, Prosper Kasim, Nico Brett. Regardless of a shortened season or not, these are big names that had a massive impact on the club. and then you add the key additions like Orion James and Junior Flemings. That's why everybody is so high on Birmingham Legion, myself included.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in this Central Division. Tom Stone said it's fun to see teams that you never really played before. Teams like Tulsa and Oklahoma City. Of course, with that cross-division, or pardon me, cross-conference coming this season. Of course, Lou City will see San Diego here in a few weeks. Some fun matchups throughout this 2021 campaign. Here's Akil Watts. Cross cut off by Asiadu. Nico Brett going down and losing out. Past the midway point in this first 45 minutes.
They're getting smarter in the midfield, Birmingham Legion. They're recognizing that.
Looked ahead, Lancaster will latch onto this. Lancaster goes down. Referee says play on. Now a counter-attacking opportunity for Birmingham. Brett. Knocked wide for Kasim. Down the line, Lapa. And Tosh gliding over. Dean for Cervania. Cervania in for Brett. Taken away by Suwahi. Jonathan Gomez going to start this attack. Plenty of red jerseys back behind the ball defending. It seems like we got a good punch from either side in the opening few minutes, and now things have started to slow down a bit more, but Louisville trying to pick it back up. Gomez, low ball across to the penalty spot, cleared away by James. And Asiadu once more. It's put out of play. We'll go back and look at Lancaster going down in the box.
I was just talking about the shape from Birmingham Legion and how they started to figure out the problem is as I lead them down that corridor, they stepped off. Mikey Lopez had come high on Corbin Bone, and he doesn't press. That allows him to distribute in through. And just as you're locking down all the players, Josh, you turn your head and go, oh, by the way, I got to mark up against Cameron Lancaster. He's been a little quiet in the opening 27 minutes, but it's because of the fact they haven't been able to get into the feet, and it's so tightly knit on that back line. They're trying to spread him out now.
In from the left, blocked down by Dean. Gomez flying in to win it back. Openo, Lancaster poked away. Now a long clearance coming. Tosh will keep it for Lou City.
They know they need to be on the ball more. That's why you're seeing Napo Masoso and Corbin Bone dropping deeper, playing a little bit of a two-man game. And the central midfield for Birmingham Legion has gone a little bit flat, where you've got Mikey Lopez stepping up in, as I mentioned, Bruno Lapa just rotating either right or left so that they create a flat line across with Cervania. So Asiadu stuck on his own, and that's because Bone has dropped deep next to Masoso. There's this two-man game trying to find a way to get those guys on the ball, and then it's flat. But that's a really good look right there, where when you do have a step in and Nico Brett drops over, you have to find balance as well in this midfield, because if you go flat, now you're allowing Cameron Lancaster, who will drop down in, he'll get on the ball more, and that's when they can spring down into the channels, and you get those second waves that Jogo's trying to pick up right around the penalty mark.
Gomez down and now having to pick himself up off the field. And an early sub coming. It'll be Antoine Openo coming off. Brian Ownby will make his season debut tonight. That substitution is brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond.
It's not a good look by Antoine Openo coming off the field. You can see the frustration. And the Frenchman recognizing the fact that, maybe I don't actually feel up to par. As mentioned, came off in that opening day victory against Atlanta United 2, came on to the field, in that second half as a substitute. Give a nice little spark to this team to help see the game out. Felt like they were working him back, but just not feeling up to par. And Brian Ownby, another one of the ones, the walking wounded, if you were, for Lou City, who basically went the entire preseason without any injuries and picked up a bunch just before their opening match.
Ownby, 18 appearances, a goal, and 5 assists last year. Asidu trying to play this centrally, and McMahon cut it off. Another chance here for Lou City, blocked by Swahi. Oh, a heavy touch, and Lapo picked this up. And Birmingham gained some time on the ball. This one's cut off. Asidu coming right down the middle. Still coming, ahead for Cervania. Blocked out, now James. Lopez keeping this moving. Towards the end line, Lapa, and out of play, goal kick, Lou City.
It's unfortunate for Birmingham Legion. Sidu, great step breaking the line of pressure, and nobody steps up to the holding midfielder who had collected the ball off of the touch from Paolo Del Piccolo. Thought the rotation by Masosa was going to continue over his shoulder. Caught him going the wrong direction, but it is good communication by someone on the sideline. He's telling his midfielders, it's got to be this pivot constant. You guys got to keep chasing, and they've got to find a way offensively to get Bruno Lapa on the ball more. And Louisville City and Birmingham understand that if they're not getting enough in there, they know he's going to wander. Both coaches recognize that.
Trying to play that ball in behind those fullbacks once more. Ownby goes to the ground and out for a goal kick. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Through the Forever Proud project, the USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Van Oekel just puts that straight out of play on the goal kick.
Well done by Johnny Dean. It's the little things that often go unnoticed, especially by a young man like himself. Little touch up over, grab possession. This is still the area, though, that they've got to work on because of all the movement. I mentioned Akil Watts, of course, not lining up in the 6. There's a good ball.
Here's Akil Watts. Defended by James. A couple of runners in the middle. Lancaster blocked. Corner kick, Lou City.
This is a little bit of comfortability for Akil Watts because he recognizes the ball coming through, and it's a great one at that. Well done by Ownby, head up, gets it down into the channel, and what Cameron Lancaster wants is he wants this ball right now. And instead, as you pump and slow down, not only does it allow the backline and the goalkeeper to reset themselves, it closes down the angle that Lancaster have. As that ball comes first time, Josh, he can whip this right across and catch Van Oekel off guard.
So a corner kick coming. Gomez whips this in near post, looking for that flick. Tosh back out for Gomez, and now Watts. Header comes on right at Van Oekel. Del Piccolo. Quick distribution. Prosper Kasim. And the long ball blocked out of play.
some kind of throw from Matt Van Oekel, huh?
No kidding.
I mean, this thing checks up. 40 yards coming off the back line in traffic.
Looked like your pitching wedge.
Yeah, the gap, you know, 52.
Ownby. And Watts will latch onto this for Lou City. Towards the back post. Over everybody's head. Dean will collect this. Del Piccolo to the end line and out of play. Well, so far in this match, total shots go to Birmingham Legion, 5-2, but of course on the scoreboard, Pat McMahon's goal, the difference.
Thompson knew coming in, Josh, that they were going to have to chase. Louisville City was going to be on the ball. You talked about the emotion. Of course, that card was presented in just the 4th minute by Pat McMahon, but it's a good response so far. I don't by any means think that they've played poorly at all. You know, they're just trying to figure out where their pressure points are, and they're struggling themselves to get playmakers on the ball. As much as Lou City is chasing in the midfield to get their attackers involved. You know, Masoso, the movement we talked about, Corbin Bone dropping back. Haven't exactly seen a boatload out of Lancaster. Positive spark out of Brian Ownby. Bruno Lapa, you know, for everything that he accomplished last year, they know that he is the key to this team. And I was talking about it earlier where when the frustration starts to creep in for the playmaker, he does wander, and that can affect you both offensively and defensively. And it's about the overall shape. You know, if he drops out of the pocket and comes to the near touchline looking for the ball and it turns over, there's a gap in your number 10 spot in the middle. That makes it a lot easier for the midfield of Lou City to pick up possession and play a two-man game, as opposed to when he's inside, you're trying to find his feet. If there is the turnover, he's already got that space locked down defensively. And
Thompson said coming into this game, it's a bit scary going up against a team that's going through a coaching change. And now here's Brian Ownby. Femu tracked back well, and just to finish that point, because these players kind of have to prove themselves again. Of course, a similar manager coming in, and Danny Cruz, he's been on the coaching staff for quite a while, but you still have to keep your spot in this team, and it's a corner kick now for Lou City. Corbin Bone, the in-swinger. And Oekel right into that same spot that McMahon scored at earlier. Asiadu. Straight back to Lou City. A heavy touch, Nico Brett. Now Bruno Lapa, the maestro in the middle. Cervania, who's now on this left side, low cross in. Took a deflection. Masoso clears. Looks like the referee will now blow this one dead. Free kick, Lou City.
A couple of touches like that for Lou City in this first half. To be fair, Birmingham Legion as well. Little turnovers that, interestingly enough, have presented some pretty impressive opportunities so far. Neither team willing to poke their head out and take advantage of it. Uncharacteristic as well. Two very efficient squads, and especially for Lou City coming off their back line. By no means are they taking chances, Josh, but they don't turn it over like that very often.
Played ahead. Del Piccolo's cross looking for Lancaster. Ofemu puts this out. Another corner for Lou City. Jonathan Gomez will go over and take another corner kick here for the home side. Towards the back post this time. Van Oekel out to grab it. Here's James. Right through the middle, and possession conceded. Masoso. Out wide for Akil Watts. New City very patient in possession. Got over 65% of it in the opening 39 minutes. Watts colliding with Lopez. Lopez stays down. Ball played in behind. Corbin Bones, square ball. Deflected out. Another corner kick coming for Lou City. Really starting to mount here in this first half.
There's a lot of pressure for sure, but there's good defending as well from Birmingham Legion, namely on this play by Fanuel Kavita, because he gets turned around by Corbin Bones as this ball pops up over the top, and it's a great recovery by the center back. Watch him close the space as this comes through on the ball from Watts. James, little one-on-one. If you're going to let it go through, that's the spot to do it. And then a good job by the center back tracking back in. There's the mark on the back shoulder by Ufemu and Cameron Lancaster as well.
Another in-swinger. Headed away. Gomez, I think, was in an offside position. And it'll be a throw-in now for the home side. Lapa has it poked away. All the way back for Kavita. And now some room opening. Asiadu through the middle. Options to both sides. Asiadu able to keep his footing. Johnny Dean. Prosper Kasim. The overlapping run. Dean going down and losing possession. Lopez latches onto this loose pass. Cutting infield, left-footed shot. He's out of play. It'll be a corner kick.
The secondary press coming from Birmingham Legion has been very impressive, pun intended. A couple of times now that first ball played through has been knocked aside by Louisville City. But the second and third and fourth man from Birmingham Legion not willing to go quietly into the night. Mikey Lopez this time stepping up. It's a great job to keep this play right in front of him.
Swung in, a big crowd around Hubbard, and knocked out of play. Another corner kick for Birmingham.
See if they go after the big frame of Fanuel Kavita again. Ufemu can do very well for himself, and this is the one who's getting involved here. Saw multiple times with his time. Philadelphia Union 2, formerly Bethlehem Steel. Go back a little while. At that point in time when he made his debut, actually the youngest goal scorer for Bethlehem Steel at that point in time, 17 years and 8 months. Some things have changed.
And now Louisville trying to turn defense into attack. Ownby making a long run. Can Ownby get in behind? Brian Ownby. Shot out of play. Another corner kick now for Lou City.
This is what happens, though, when you push your outside backs, both of them really high. And there's nothing wrong with that, but Ryan James, as this ball doesn't come back across, great recognition on the outlet pass for Akil Watts, and then they're off and running. This ball's got to be hit with a bit more pace because he gets the angle wrong now. And it's not Ownby's fault, it's moving away from him. But how about, once again, the recovery on the defending line for Birmingham Legion. Johnny Dean coming all the way back across to be the knight in shining armor.
In-swinger, Van Oekel punches this away. Cervania looking to start a break. Looking for Lapa, he was cut off by Akil Watts. That's a throw-in for Birmingham. 2 minutes to go in this first half. It's been a possession game for Louisville, but at times it's been transitional in both ways.
Defensively, Legion still struggling with the runs. The good news is seems like everybody on that back four came to play tonight.
Looks like the referee, we've seen him excuse me, let me
down.
speak.
I'm with you.
He's gone down a few times as this one goes in behind, and the referee needed a new spray bottle. Gomez to the end line and into side netting.
The spray bottle.
The magic spray.
I got to be honest, Josh. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to be able to finish, because
oh my goodness,
if that thing can't continue on, we're out of subs for the spray bottle. You know, at halftime, we used up the windows. No more spray bottles. No more fun. No more game.
Joshua Encarnacion, oh, he's reaching back for it now. He feels a little bare back there without his spray bottle. Something left in this first half. Lou City getting on the score sheet very early through Pat McMahon. Well, coming in the 3rd minute, the assist from Corbin Bone, this man right here. This will deflect back all the way to Matt Van Okel. Stoppage time is presented by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, and the referees have added 1 minute of additional time as Nabil Ben Salah puts up the board, tonight's 4th official. Gomez head for Ownby, and he just couldn't bring it in. It seems like Lou City is at times looking to pick out that ball in behind this back line. And now Birmingham want to do so. Lapa met by Tosh. Out for a throw, and one more chance here for Birmingham before halftime. The end line. Nico Brett taking off the ball. We're through the minute, and it's a corner kick. So one more chance here for Birmingham. Lapa stands over this set piece. All sent in. Top of the box, James blocked down. Stays in here for Birmingham. Cervania going down, free kick. And Danny Cruz is not pleased. He has been talking with the 4th official. You can hear him in the background asking that this first half should be expired.
And obviously the argument coming in the fact that they just hit the 2-minute mark, and I think there's a little bit to add on for sure, but here's the question is, does he actually catch him here on this cutback? Looks like there is a little touch from Cameron Lancaster. Don't see a boatload, but still the area, you don't want to force the referee's hand. It looks like his motion starts to the ground, and there's going to be a lot of frustration from Danny Cruz right now, especially if this continues to progress, and he's asking for the time. I expected an extra 30 seconds or so, but we are well beyond that, even before the foul. And there are so many players from Birmingham Legion who can step up and hit this. Nico Brett, Bruno Lapa, saw a couple times in 2020 for Lapa. A little game of hide and seek going on with Jogo.
Put the youngest player behind the wall, right? Lapa and Brett. Nico Brett will strike this low and into the wall. And now the referee will blow for halftime. So some controversy there at the end, but Lou City escaped this first half with a 1-0 advantage. And it's Pat McMahon's goal in the 3rd minute. He was given Lou City the advantage, the assist from Corbin Bone on the set piece. But Birmingham, some moments in this first half. And a big 45 minutes upcoming for Birmingham as they're trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak to start this 2021 campaign. While on the other side, Lou City 45 more minutes and they'll start 2-0 under new management though, under Danny Cruz. So the teams will head for the halftime locker room as we have hit halftime here from Louisville, Kentucky. It's Lou City 1, it's Birmingham Legion 0. Stay tuned, plenty to take you through in the halftime break. The dish, I hear, is on its way. It's halftime here in Louisville.
Your summer starts here. With big savings on a new Toyota, you can go out and do all the things that make summer the best time of the year. But don't miss out on all the fun. See your Toyota dealer and catch a great deal today.
Get $1,000 customer cash on a new aggressively styled 21 Highlander or Highlander Hybrid. Or you can lease this Highlander for $289 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance included.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
For the last 70 years, Commonwealth Credit Union has been bettering lives in our communities and putting members first in everything we do. So to celebrate 70 years of service, we're committing to 70 acts of service, from partnering with the Make-A-Wish Foundation to hosting community blood drives.
If you have an act of service you think we should complete this year, we want to hear from you. Visit our website to submit your idea for consideration as we make our 70th year one to remember.
Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
October 24th, 2018. 2 shoppers are shot and killed at this Jeffersontown Kroger, and now we have uncovered more shocking allegations that some officers who showed up here had been drinking.
This investigation was 2 years in the making.
It appears that LMPD did very little investigation into those allegations at all.
There are still so many unanswered questions.
And if the public doesn't know about something, issues can't be corrected.
You can see the full story right now on WDRB.com.
Happy birthday!
Let loose after a hard-working day.
Oh, great. Is it Wabbit season again?
On WBKI's Happy Hour. With 6 o'clock Last Man Standing, followed by 7 o'clock Modern Family. And 7:30 Big Bang Theory.
I believe I've isolated the algorithm from making friends. Could open a booth at Comic-Con, make a fortune.
Well shaken, never dry. Mixed with big laughs. That's WBKI's Happy Hour.
Welcome back. Halftime here between Louisville City and Birmingham Legion. Week 3 of the USL Championship is upon us, and I think it's about time we talk about Week 1. No, let's talk about Week 2. We're back with the dish. Let's get it started. San Antonio FC, Colorado Springs, who retooled in the offseason. Brendan Burke comes in, but this is a team in San Antonio that has done a little bit of work of their own. 7 MLS draftees, including 3 first-rounders, and one of them, su nombre es Santiago Patino. The number 3 overall pick in 2019 bagged himself, you guessed it, 3 goals, a hat trick on opening night for their striker up top. You know, was it the all-around greatest performance? Yes, it was. This was the best performance in the second week of the USL Championship. San Antonio got better. Watch out. Who else? Oh, yeah, Phoenix Rising. They're pretty good. They're not bad. And another Santiago who shortened his name because he's just that good. Because you have to talk about him all the time. His name? That's Santi Moar. What did he do? No big deal. Just a goal and 2 assists. Little goal on his own, bottom corner. Thank you so much. Aiden Quinn, one of the offseason acquisitions, I say could be the biggest coup in the entire USL Championship. I'm just going to put it on your left foot. You go to work. Thanks. You know, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's sing. His name is Santi Moar. He hails from sunny Spain. He scores goals. He sets them up. Best remember the name. Kevin Lambert does. 4-1, Phoenix Rising, San Diego. Unfinished business coming up on the weekend. We'll get there in a second because Phoenix Rising will be doing battle against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who already, you know, they won a battle. First battle of the week. Charlotte Independence. Charlotte Independence didn't get the memo that the season started. My apologies. Seba Guanzati did, though. El Capitan. 1-0. It's almost game, set, match every single time he steps onto the field and they score, by the way. And then your USL Championship Defender of the Year, USL All Best 11. Yeah, he can set goals up too. Forrest Lasso finds the back post run of Seba Guanzati. The brace for the captain, But then offseason acquisitions, that's right. Steven Dos Santos to Seba to Leo Fernandez, who came off the bench. Go figure. You know it's trouble in the Eastern Conference when Leo Fernandez is coming off the bench. Not trouble for Neil Collins and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. They win 3-0. RGV, San Diego, let's just wake up in the 87th minute, because with this goal right here, the 1-0 dagger, and yes it was, by Vicente Sanchez, he dethrones the king, Didier Drogba. There's a new monarch in town, 41 years, 4 months, 29 days old. He becomes the oldest scorer in the championship's history. USL King reigns supreme in RGV. As always, HEB Park, place where dreams go to die. Stats, highlights, more. We got everything coming at you.
Top of the area, will chip it with the right and in. Trying to get around Cleedle, and Asante delivered.
Herzagi takes it, saved by Newhoop, he gets on top of it. Over footstep, Pilato, oh what a strike!
For the fans who started painting 3 hours before the game. For the fans who celebrate with high fives. For the huggers, the chest bumpers, and this guy. For fans like you who do things your way, there's Park Community Credit Union. Your city, your team, your way.
Are you hungry? You should get yourself down to Four Pegs in Germantown. Try some of their delicious smoked brisket, ribs, and wings. We source only the freshest ingredients. And check out our massive beer selection. Join us Saturday and Sunday for our most awesome brunch. Smoked Bloody Marys, ribs, and eggs. And come hang out on our newly remodeled patio. Check us out on social media or at fourpegs.net.
Summer's here, and with a great deal on a new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer sports, like softball, beach volleyball, triathlons, woo, racing, golf. Whoa! Someone needs lessons.
Lease a stylish new 21 Corolla for $139 a month. An exciting new Camry for $229 a month. Or get $1,250 customer cash on Camry.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Halftime here from Lynn Family Stadium. Lou City and Birmingham Legion in the new Central Division in this Eastern Conference. Around the USL Championship, news and notes. The Clear Audio USL Player of the Week is Santiago Patino. I heard somebody singing about him earlier.
It may or may not have been me, and I may or may not be able to validate that. I was actually singing about Santi Moar, but I was singing the praises of Santiago Patino.
Perfect.
He was magnificent in the opening game, and thought that although they really demolished Colorado Springs, it's the first game of the season. There's a long way to go, but it was a beautiful performance for the number 3 overall draft pick back in 2019 from Orlando City. Josh, unfinished business next Saturday. USL on ESPN, The Dose. Phoenix Rising at Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's going to be a fun one.
Going to be a fun one. And then the next day, you got a little League One action. And speaking of League One, Spokane, Washington, they'll be getting a stadium here for a League One expansion team in the next few seasons. Around the USL Championship, a look at what this season will look like. What are you most looking forward to?
Interconference.
Yeah.
Been asked this question multiple times. It's got to be about interconference. You know, we haven't seen this since the 2018 season. And remember, in that time frame, we've had teams go from west to east, back to the west, so on and so forth. Tulsa knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
St. Louis FC, RIP, they were involved in that. But the opportunity for teams like Phoenix and Tampa Bay Rowdies, like San Diego Loyal and Louisville City, You are never going to get that in previous years, and now all of these great storylines, the magnificent stadiums, finally, not just at the forefront of our conversations, but we get an opportunity to see them battle it out.
And a look at the schedule sponsored by CoSare Charities. Help a child in our community now at CoSare.org/donate. What piques your interest here?
Red Bull 2 Miami FC. There's a reason. As I've said before, I am not saying the Miami FC until they step up and show me something. I think it was a good start last week, even with the red card by Janusz Luba. Now you're on the road. John Wolyniak and Red Bull 2, a little help from Red Bull, their MLS club. At home, that's a high-flying team. They know their press. They know their style. That's going to be a difficult game for Miami FC. I may even start using if they get a point. If they get a point, not even a victory.
Oh, wow. High praise there from Devin Kerr. But it's halftime here in Louisville. Second half is on the way. Lou City, Birmingham Legion.
So much opportunity here, so much room for growth. You just have to want it. There's actually no limit. My advice would be to take advantage of anything GEA has to offer. You just have to know what you want and go after it.
GE Appliance Park is now hiring permanent full-time positions for all shifts with immediate benefits. Learn more about this great opportunity and apply at makeitathepark.com. GE Appliances. We make good things for life.
When it comes to hybrid technology, nobody has more hybrid models than Toyota. From the Prius, the hybrid that started it all, to America's best-selling car, Camry, and best-selling SUV, RAV4, to the first-ever Corolla hybrid, the new best-in-class Highlander hybrid, and now the first-ever Sienna hybrid minivan, and Venza, the first exclusively all-wheel drive hybrid. They all come with a new 10-year, 150,000-mile battery warranty. Nobody knows hybrids like Toyota. Let's go places.
Stop till we on top. Quit, I think not. Coming hot for the #1 spot, yeah. No key, got the game on lock, ayy. Big threes when I take my shot, ayy. On the rise and we ain't gon' drop. On the grind, it's our time, just watch.
Enjoying the sunshine and fresh air can be hard for many of us. Advanced ENT and Allergy is the regional leader in upper airway care. From allergies, sinus problems, sleep apnea, hearing health, and more, our medical team treats everyone like family. Advanced ENT and Allergy offers same-day appointments, and for many, no referral is needed. Our outstanding team of physicians, along with state-of-the-art technology, can get you breathing right, sleeping well, and feeling better sooner. Go to advancedentandallergy.com for your appointment. 8 locations.
Getting set for the second half from Louisville, Kentucky. It's 1-0 to Lou City. Birmingham Legion looking for a comeback in this second half. A busy 45 minutes, so let's look at those highlights. And we start with Lou City, a corner kick and a goal.
Where would the emotion come from? Would it be positive? Would it be negative? They were shot out of a cannon. Spoiler alert, Lou City was hot in the opening 10 minutes. Thank Corbin Bone and Pat McMahon for this beauty of a set piece put in the 3rd minute. There would be a good response, though, by one of your veterans, right? Nope. Jaden Cervania, 19 years of age. Go to work, young man. Little one-on-one. Good cut in on Lexi Swaw. He gets it over to the left foot in transition, but more importantly, in traffic here because there's bodies closing left and right. He's got the confidence, and he's got that option to go bottom corner. Good save by Chris Hubbard. Now, let's go back the other direction. There was a shout from the sideline, some angry ones coming from Danny Cruz. Is this a penalty? Good combination play, but no, he starts leaning ahead of time. Not a foul. Not whatsoever. Good defending by Ryan James. It's 2-man pressure. Both he and Fanuel Kavina, and right back here, Cameron Lancaster knows the pressure's coming. Well done by those two on the left side to not get themselves into trouble, and good refereeing. And then this was the counter that could have easily been 2-0. The sliding tackle by Brian Ownby, and then watch him take off. Again, this ball needs to be a bit further out in front, but then it's the recovery by Johnny Dean, who had come all the way back across the field on the set piece, sitting on the left-hand side. Little one-on-one. Great tackle against Brian Ownby. Defensively, they struggled in terms of possession, but anytime when they had to make a play and needed to, they got it done. I'm not surprised that possession is as high as it is, nor that it's going to stay like that. I expect Birmingham Legion are going to be on their heels defending a lot of the second half. The question mark here is, Josh, Can they find Bruno Lapa? The distribution coming out of the back has to be better. It's a lot of long balls over the top hit with hope, or it's isolated 1v2s, one-on-ones. They don't have enough buildup in terms of overall team play to be successful. They got to switch that come second half.
So here we go, second 45 minutes upcoming from Lynn Family Stadium with Devin Kerr. I'm Josh Eastern. Central Division battle between Lou City and Birmingham Legion. It's that man right there in the back, Pat McMahon, who got that goal in the 3rd minute. Lapa and Brett will get set to restart this second half. Joshua Encarnacion blows his whistle. Here we go, 45 more minutes from Lynn Family Stadium. Louisville trying to win its 2nd straight game to start this season. Birmingham trying to avoid defeat for the 2nd straight game to start this season. And this portion of tonight's game is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. A week ago, it was Birmingham Legion losing at home 1-0 to Indy 11. A frustrating defeat, as Tom Sohn called it. Siadu going to ground. He was fouled by Ownby. And a free kick for Birmingham. Here's Kavita. Need to get this wide. Long ball, looking for that switch. Cervania's on this right side to start the second half. Lancaster looking for that flick around Kavita. Asiru. Now Johnny Dean. Cervania. We'll lay this off. Dean, cross. Might have taken a deflection on the way in and then thumped clear. And Lancaster there to try to hold things up for Louisville. Ofemu covers at the back for Birmingham. Bone. Del Piccolo. Lancaster was cut off. Ofemu cutting in again. Birmingham, of course, tonight without Alex Cronali. J.J. Williams also picked up a red card last week, so he misses this one. Junior Flemings is still suspended. This being this final game of that suspension from last year. Zach Harivo is also out. Anything catch your eye in these opening few minutes in terms of many changes?
It's much ado about nothing in the sense that nothing has really changed from the first half, Josh. And I referenced the distribution or lack thereof by the midfielders for Birmingham Legion and trying to find a way to connect the back line with those guys in the midfield, namely Mikey Lopez, Siadu, and Bruno Lapa. It's basically the same thing, and there is definitely high pressure coming from Lou City. But they haven't worked the outside backs either. You know, they try and go central if it's not there. When they do move outside to Johnny Dean, when they move to the left to Ryan James, they're able to successfully basically go from A to B, and then the next step is just lacking. And it's not only lacking, it's non-existent because they're not shifting over. So as you move to the far side of the field right now, one drops down into the pocket coming from Nico Brett. You've already moved high with Prosper Kasim, and then there's not another option. And it's a good job by Louisville City defensively because they're just keeping the game in front of them. There's just not enough movement off the ball, and if there is, it's not appropriate. You know, you got guys stepping down into the channel asking for a ball over the top when all you need is a little 5 or 10 yard ball in front of you.
Lou City content to keep some possession, trying to find that second goal, but it's on Birmingham to try to find that equalizer and find a result tonight on the road. Swahi over the top, right down the channel and straight out of play. The USL has some unfinished business. First, the Tampa Bay Rowdies welcome Phoenix Rising FC May 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 in a rematch of the canceled championship final from 2020. Then League One takes the national TV stage for the first time when Greenville Triumph plays host to Union Omaha May 16th, 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Ownby's ball in. Cleared away by Kavita. Bone right back for Ownby. Gomez on the turn. Tried to bring it with him. Cut off by Asidu. Now Lapa. Kasim. And Cervania. Nico Brett up front. All alone. This will be a free kick for Birmingham. Johnny Dean. Heavy touch, but will be tracked down by Ofemu.
Here's that pressure that I'm talking about from Louisville City as he steps. And when you look for that rotation, all the players are marked up. That's when you need the secondary effort where you bring another option down into the midfield, another option on the exterior. So as the pressure continues to come, you got to break that initial line. And it can be from a ball itself or from one of your players stepping through that pressure. It's a good look at both options with Asiadu trying to find a good little ball into Mikey Lopez. And once again, as you turn over the shoulder, that immediate look, it's on for a second, and then if you don't play it initially, you're in trouble. Much better build up here.
James trying to play this diagonally through, straight out of play. Thompson looking to see if they can get that goal in this second half. A season ago, according to American Soccer Analysis, they scored more than 10 goals more than their expected goals, which was at just over 19. They scored 29 goals last season. Birmingham looking to find that finishing touch. Meanwhile, Gomez's cross is put out of play. Tosh. Lopez in a tough spot. Wins the throw in here for Birmingham. More pressure here from Lou City as Ofemu's put into a corner. And the throw-in is conceded. And all the way back now for Chris Hubbard.
And again, it all starts from the pressure being applied by Lou City on the opposite side of the field. And the inability from Birmingham Legion to play out of it. And really struggling with the support options in their buildup and making some silly mistakes too. You know, this is one of the more efficient teams on the ball in possession, Josh, over the past couple of seasons. So much to the point that both Louisville City and Birmingham Legion in the top 5 in that statistical category. 81% overall in their passing accuracy. And with the Legion squad on the road, talked about the lack of the ability to combine. hovering just under 70 at this point in time. Lou City has worked their way and held up their end of the bargain at 82. When you start to make those little mistakes, your confidence starts to wave side to side.
As James picks this up, Lancaster had to check his run. Dangerous giveaway. Lancaster, but the flag was up, offside. I think that was on Jonathan Gomez. United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Gomez trying to win this race against Ofemu. He commits the foul as Ofemu goes down. Good move to get around some pressure, but then he loses it, Prosper Kasim. Ownby. Lancaster is just bumped at the top of that run. And he'll run through. Bit of frustration there from Lancaster.
He's just frustrated in general. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity with.
Missed a flex just wide. Whoa, dangerous there at the back.
They've been very risk-reward recently trying to play off the back. Usually veering towards the opening part of that statement where they have not been very good. Ofemu gets really lucky on the pressure by Brian Ownby.
Cervania, quick hesitation. And now gets this wide. It's Nico Brett. Birmingham trying to pull one back. He goes down, penalty. And is this a yellow card as well? Paolo Piccolo, the captain, comes flying in. But Joshua Encarnacion issues a yellow card to Pat McMahon. Here's another look.
This really looked like there was not a lot of contact whatsoever, similar to the Likey Lopez one in the first half. This one does get called there. And I said, in order for them to have success, especially when they play through the middle, someone's got to step up and break that pressure. Jaden Cervania, great job here. And as it comes back across, the contact, it's the trailing leg. The obstructive view got us. You know, we have the luxury of the replay. So I think initially I sided with Lou City on this one. I didn't think it was a pen, but the secondary one, there's the high leg almost at the point of the knee on Nico Brett. Rightfully so, they point to the spot.
And the referee has shown a vivify yellow card to Louisville's Pat McMahon, the goal scorer in the 3rd minute. And now he gives Birmingham a lifeline back in this game, and it's Nico Brett who steps up. 9 goals a year ago, 17 goals in 2019. He scored 15 the year before that, and trying to open his account now for Birmingham in 2021. Brett against Hubbard, saved by Hubbard. The putback, saved again. Chris Hubbard comes up huge. But did he come off his line early? And this might be taken again. Joshua Encarnacion now talking with his AR. And they'll take it again. Off his line early. And Del Piccolo needs to compose himself here.
And he come off the line early. Hard to tell from that angle, Josh. Definitely gets the save in the second one. Oh, he's well off. He's well off his line. Great job by the crew here. Lou City's going to be frustrated, but this is the right call. Hubbard leaves early. It's a step off and a lean to the right. And now he's making friends with the referee.
And this is big because the first time you come off your line, a new IFAB rule, it's just a warning. The second time is a yellow card. So now he's already picked up a yellow card. If he comes off his line early again, Chris Hubbard could be off. That's another Vivify yellow card to Chris Hubbard. And here is Brett, and he scores this time. No mistakes from Nico Brett the second time around. Legion back level.
He doesn't agree, but he'll see the tape later and he'll understand it. It's really difficult as a player in real time to understand how close this is. And we have the luxury, Josh. We can play Monday morning quarterback. But when he came off the first one, he went to the right, does the second time, goes to the right again, doesn't leave early. Nico Brett switches it up, puts his game down, flips it, reverses it, and gets us back to ones.
That's the first goal of the season for Birmingham Legion. Comes in dramatic fashion. Paolo Del Piccolo also picked up a yellow card. So right at the hour mark, another Vivify yellow card given to Paolo Del Piccolo. And it's 1-1 in Louisville. Here's Del Piccolo playing this through. Ownby cutting in field. Brian Ownby plays this back. Piccolo, Bone, Ownby. Cross comes in, it was blocked out of play, corner kick. Jonathan Gomez will take this for Lou City. Gomez, the in-swinger, headed towards goal. Did Del Piccolo knock that out of the path of goal?
Well, this thing was going in. This thing was headed to the far corner on the redirect by Lexi Suahi.
The player down here for Birmingham Legion. Here's another look at that corner.
What a ball whipped in by Jogo. And then just the backside and Paolo Del Piccolo. He's not trying to connect here. He's got his arm off as he's turning back around. It's a natural progression by the midfielder.
Fanuel Kavita is down for Birmingham. Bruno Lapa is in conversation with Tom Sohn. Remember, concussion substitutions are available this year in the USL. You can make up to 2 concussion substitutions. And does not count against one of your substitution windows. And if a concussion sub is used, the other team does get an extra substitution to use in the game.
Josh, go back though. Let's go back to the penalty because I think a lot of people still wonder as to whether or not this should be pointed to the spot. Watch the trailing leg on the high knee right there. That's where he catches him. We all thought it was the initial movement on the right side, and it wasn't. It was the high on the left, and he does leave early. Hubbard comes off the line. Again, Lou City are going to be frustrated, but when they go back and look at this, they will understand that this is the correct decision. You got to get your head back on track here, though, because there's a lot of motion flying up for Lou City. Not in the best shape either. Descent given to Paolo Del Piccolo. Chris Hubbard, you talked about that card given, the warning, but then another one given for the descent in the 60th minute. Got to be very careful on that penalty. He was. What does this look like for Lou City in the closing 25 minutes? More importantly, what does it look like for Birmingham Legion with that man right there? With all the chasing that had to do, has been nothing short of spectacular in transitional defense on that back line next to Ryan James. They've had to clean up a lot.
It's Kavita who's coming over from St. Louis. He made 17 starts. He's played every minute of the last 2 seasons with St. Louis FC. This portion of tonight's game is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And another player down now for Birmingham. This time, Jaden Cervania.
Just gets tangled up with, looks like to be Akil Watts on that far side. Go the aerial route, and the two of them coming down really hard, to be fair. Surprised Akil Watts doesn't feel the after effects on this one, because he just bounces off the turf. Watch this come up here. Straight up for both of them, leans in a little bit, and then right there on the tailbone for one, shoulder for the other.
Kavita steps in. Kasim. Asiadu.
Good ball.
Playing this in behind. Cervania unable to keep it in play.
Has been interesting positionally for the wide men for both teams, how some of these balls coming up over. The angles have been wrong. To be fair, some of the balls through haven't been exactly on point, but you are going to run into that at this point in time in the season. But given the last 15 minutes and what we've experienced, the level of play, the emotion, hard to tell that it's only the second game of the year for these two squads.
Tom Sohn saying coming into this game, we want to measure up against the best. And we mentioned some of those players that aren't there for Birmingham, so not a fully fit squad at the moment, but going toe-to-toe right now with Lou City. We know Lou City, of course, going through some of their own injury issues, but Birmingham sticking right with them right now. And Lopez takes this away. Lapa charging forward. He's played in by Lopez, looking to get this back. Trying to go back post. Dean battling for it. Del Piccolo heads this away.
It's pretty much the only ball that Bruno Lapa has, and to get it right as it's moving away, this little dink to the back stick, very difficult to complete. It was the right move, and you said it, man. And the amount of injuries that Lou City has had to face. We saw Antoine Openo, who had come back last game as a substitute, making his way back from injury. He went off. Brian Ownby finally back in, having himself a quality night so far. But Elijah Winder, Wes Sharpie, Adu Jam, Jorge Gonzalez, all picking up a bug of some sort. The good news is picking the brain of Danny Cruz. He feels like the timeline on those injuries, especially the latter portion of that conversation, is going to be a little bit quicker than they initially thought.
Here's Asiadu. Good spell of possession here for Birmingham. And they make it pay off in tight spaces. Lapa. Heavy touch by Prosper Kasim. Loses possession. Ball in behind. Asiadu and Ownby, a foot race. Ownby comes away with it. He goes down. And out for a corner kick. I think Lou City wanted the penalty after Ownby was tripped up as that ball was trickling out of play.
Good challenge by Paolo Del Piccolo, and I just discussed the weight of some of the balls coming through. It doesn't get much better than this. Great ball by Del Piccolo, and good recovery by Asiadu on Brian Ownby. As we've been accustomed to seeing over the past couple of seasons how quick he is to jump into that space and exploit it.
In swinger, Gomez. Didn't get by the man 10 yards away. Cervania chasing after this one, and he'll get on it. James coming down the middle. It was a heavy touch by Cervania, which ends the threat. Now play back for Hubbard. Ball played in behind. Lancaster, he latches on. Cameron Lancaster, kick saved by Van Oekel. And a corner kick again for Lou City.
That's the vision of a true marksman in Cameron Lancaster when it's not necessarily a lot of opportunities in your night, so these little windows you're going to get, you're still effective.
Gomez towards the back post. Van Oekel to punch it away. And a Siadu. Siadu carries on. And knocked out a play by Ownby.
This isn't going to show up on the stat sheet. This is really smart, though, from Pat McMahon, because he gets ready to take a Siadu down. And if he does, in this transitional move, this would have been a second yellow. Back on the one that he picked up on the penalty that led to the goal by Nico Brett and Birmingham Legion on the equalizer. That would have been his second yellow and sent off, but lest we forget, he opened the account. 3rd minute, Corbin Bone, Pat McMahon, 1-0 Lou City. Not a bad shift for Pat McMahon in his first start of the season.
So he takes a seat and Niall McCabe comes on. That substitution brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond. A player down here for Birmingham. Looks like Mikey Lopez. "72 minutes into the Danny Cruz era. Some twists and turns in this one. The first game at head coach for Cruz.
He's definitely had to maneuver a lot, and I think the key thing coming in was what was the emotion going to be like. I think they answered that right off the bat. Of course, they're up against it right now. Good response from the visitors, and there was a shout a second ago, just changing topics, from Tommy Sohn saying, "I need to know Mikey," immediately as the trainer steps onto the field. Maggie Campanaro signals need a substitute, and he's already wearing that KT tape. Keep an eye on that right hamstring as he turns around. That black tape just pulls up lane. It's non-contact. There's no foul whatsoever. It's frustration by Danny Cruz. He thinks maybe he's embellishing here a little bit. Mikey Lopez obviously came in with a knock, and from the sounds of it, not going able to finish things off.
It sounds like it'll be Eli Cronale coming on. Yeah, Lopez doesn't look like he is fit to continue. So it'll be Eli Cronale coming on, the 23-year-old. And that sub is brought to you by MHS Global.
Let's see as to whether or not, with the movement you'll get out of Lou City, was just going to see if they were going to go to 3. And they pivot so often within their setup that it can look like that regularly, but not always set up.
Lancaster did get a touch on that. Cleared away. And now a chance to counter here for Birmingham. Kassim goes down. Referee trying to play advantage, and now he'll blow it dead. And that's a yellow card for Swahi.
You've got to get a hold of the game here if you're Louisville City and want to try and find a way to grab 3 points out of this, because Birmingham Legion are edging closer and closer to taking this match over. The positive movements that we've seen out of red jerseys all night long have never been an issue, and Pretty sure I see that much in that tackle.
That's a Vivify yellow card going to Alexi Suahi.
Just watch the shape, what they start to employ in the middle. Jogo pinching up almost into a wingback type role with a little rotation over here to the left side. That leaves Akil Watts rotated to the right as got another player down.
Louisville doesn't have to put this out, and they'll continue on. McCabe. Put this wide to the right. Masoso. And it's poked away. James, now Lapa. And Tosh will collect this. Fans, head to Twitter to vote on tonight's Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates Man of the Match. Poll will be open for the next few minutes. Vote now at twitter.com/Lou City. And now it's Prosper Kasim going back down. We might get a good chunk of change for stoppage time.
Yeah, again, there's frustration by the fans, but it was 100% an issue with Mikey Lopez a second ago. Came in with a little niggle on that backside, and Prosper Kasim went down a second ago. Play continued. He got up to try and help out defensively, but he's definitely not feeling well. You know, this is an area on the outside of the midfield that they've struggled with in general. Both last match with J.J. Williams, Kasim handled his business for the final 20 minutes. Jaden Cervania has been great, but I always talked about the balance for Birmingham Legion, and they haven't had it tonight either. Quick combo, and I would imagine that given the way that he's reacted over the past couple of minutes, this is going to be another change.
Right now, Birmingham down a man. It looks like it'll be Jake Roof ready to come on.
You have to wonder if they're going to switch Cervania over to that left-hand side now, especially the way that they're starting to pivot a little bit here. You're going to force a one-on-one situation with he and Akil Watts. It'll be a fun battle.
All played in. Ownby on the turn. Ownby sends this in. Gomez sends it towards goal. Van Oekel gets down to his right. Big save from the Birmingham goalkeeper. And they'll make that sub now. It is Jake Roof on. Prosper Kasim is off.
Not half bad from this young man, Jonathan Gomez, who was great spraying balls left and right in that entire match against Atlanta United. This first touch has to be perfect, and it is. Across the body, just off the midsection, catches it on the rise, hit with pace. There's power. Precision is the key word that you've got to take out of it, because he's only got that small little window on the near post. Fantastic save, though, by Matt Van Oekel.
So Jake Roof on that sub, brought to you by MHS Global. Two subs used for both sides in two windows. Long diagonal ball now. Gomez gets around Roof. Into the box, cross comes in. They were both battling there. Home fans want a penalty, and Joshua Encarnacion playing on. Tosh. Gomez. Corner.
My immediate shout here was I thought this was a penalty. Good perseverance. Well, they get tangled up for sure, but I see their feet knock, but I don't see each other's feet knock. And again, it looks like they just tripped up on their own. Good battle down in the trenches. Jonathan Gomez on that right side.
In-swinger coming. Back post, headed into the middle. Deflecting around, James trying to clear this. Tosh. And that went off his hand. AR saw it. Handball. Today's nugget of the match are brought to you by Chick-fil-A Kentuckiana. And we're featuring Cameron Lancaster. Of course, he came up through Tottenham's academy, played in the Premier League in 2012.
Not bad pedigree, is it?
No,
Used to be
not
the
at
running
all.
mate of Harry Kane back in the day. They're going to need him down the stretch here for sure, because I'd love to get him back to his goal-scoring ways. Of course, at the USL Championship record.
I was going to ask you, which striker you're talking about, Kane or
No,
Lancaster?
yeah. Spurs got to win something for me to start talking about it.
Ball played in behind. Lou City on the attack. Long cross, out of play.
And this little pivot that Louisville City gets, Jonathan Gomez is going to get more opportunities moving forward. They're just sort of shape-shifting right to left. And that young man right there. Let's talk about value within the U.S. Youth National Team. Some big names on that list right there. Of course, Caden Clark, New York Red Bull. Kevin Paradis in DC United. The man-child that is Cade Cowell in San Jose, making some noise for himself. And per transfer market, Jonathan Gomez, ranked as the 10th highest valued player at the Youth National Program right now within these continental United States. You're getting a good glimpse of it right now of exactly why, and why Louisville City, you don't want to use the phrase took a chance on him, but I think a lot of people looked as to why they were going to allow him to challenge for a starting spot on this team. Glimpses last year, but a shirt earned, rightfully so. And you can understand why that value and stock continues to rise every time he steps onto the pitch.
Time in the FC Dallas Academy, time for North Texas under Eric Quill in League One, and also time at Benfica in Portugal, a quick stint there.
And all before the 18th birthday. Go figure.
That's pretty solid. Here's McCabe. Final 10 minutes to go from Louisville, Kentucky. Asidu stepping in, and look at the red shirts coming forward. Dean, he'll get on the end of this. Back for Roof. Cronale. Now time in possession for Birmingham. And Akil Watts, you can see him down just outside the center circle. Birmingham playing on, at least for now. Roof. Once Louisville made the touch, oh, this will be a whistle and a foul, and now they'll be able to stop play for Watts.
There's a little contact here by Brian Ownby on, I think, Roof, the substitute who came on. More importantly, what does this look like for Akil Watts inside 10 minutes to go? Now McCabe has tucked himself over on that right side next to Sean Tosh, and he's more than capable. This little stunt they're running on the far side with the high line of Napo Masoso. It's not gambling by any means. They're just expecting a lot of the right-hand side as they try and continue this attack to move forward. Find Ownby, find Lancaster. Haven't been able to.
Here's what happened to Watts.
Ooh. That right foot of his just turns pretty awkwardly on the tackle coming through. It's a good challenge for sure, but foot to ball. Looks like they are lining up reinforcements on the sideline.
Lapa. So go all the way through. Kavita will track this down in the corner. James trying to switch the play. Dean, and now Cronale, won back by Napo Masoso. Space now for Cervania. Cervania's cross out for a corner.
Love the development we've seen out of that young man. He's a good example of maybe not necessarily having the right fit as the career progressed. Of course, the Dallas and Houston product at the youth level didn't necessarily fit the ideology of either one of the organizations. His brother Brandon, still with FC Dallas, though on loan across the pond. He's done really well under Jay Heaps and Tom Sohn. Got another one of those young products who is approaching his 20th birthday.
Bruno Lapa will drive this one in over the head of Cronali. James unable to get it back. And he keeps possession. 5 minutes to go. Cervania. Roof. Ahead for Bruno Lapa. His cross blocked out of play by Tosh. Another corner kick here for Birmingham.
Listen to the atmosphere, too. It's dropping out of the stadium. You know, the Louisville faithful really struggling to keep their boys in this match, and as are the players, the Coopers, Los Morados. Louisville Ledgehogs got to find a way to kick their homeboys intact because Bruno Lapa and co are coming for it right now.
Here he is standing over another corner kick, this time an outswinger. It's headed away by Tosh. Johnny Dean keeps this move going. Del Piccolo there to cut it off. And this will be a foul. If you're on the road or can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and the brand new USL All Access featuring Mike Watts and one Devin Kerr every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from all of the top leagues. As McCabe comes forward, corner kick, Loose City. Play stops for a moment as Gomez has to walk off a bit of a knock.
He's just cramping a little bit. The war of attrition is upon us right now.
Niall McCabe. In swinger. Van Okel rises above everybody and makes the catch. Cervania. Trying to keep this in play, but unsuccessful. Gomez going quickly. Here's Ownby. Ownby weaving through. Gets the cross away. Put right back into the middle. McCabe. Niall McCabe weaving through. Blocked down. Gomez keeps this alive. Lancaster. Masoso wide. Scrambling there was Matt Van Okel. Happy to see that go out of play.
All of this comes from the quick fire option by Jonathan Gomez on the sideline, though. Well done by the youngster. Quick little throw in, and then they go with pace. Look at the numbers running forward for Louisville City as well. Recovery trying to come from Jake Roof. Good job by Van Okel, but he'll want this one back, spills it right down the middle. And the entire time, Niall McCabe trying to get it on his right foot. Jogo keeps it alive. It's a revolving door of opportunities. Ends up with Masoso, who can't put it on frame.
Own B. Final 30 seconds of action. We'll find out how much stoppage time we get. It could be a big number. And this will be a yellow card. Gomez. It's another Vivify yellow card, this time given to Jonathan Gomez, young left back for this Lou City side, as Marcos Ugarte will come on, replacing Jaden Cervania. Sub brought to you by MHS Global.
Heck of a shift put in for Jaden Cervania tonight, and when there is no balance, sometimes an individual player has to rise above it, and he did so. Nico Brett off, Bruno Lapa off, Prosper Kasim off. Seems like everybody on that front line didn't show up tonight, but that young man had himself a quality night. Not an easy task as well versus a very talented back line of Lou City. Should hold his head high, did well on the road.
Ugarte makes his way on. Now we'll find out how much stoppage time we get. And we continue going now into the 92nd minute. James. Brett was offside. Looks like more subs coming on now for Lou City. Paolo Del Piccolo will come off. It'll be Tyler Gibson to come on. That sub brought to you by MHS Global, above and beyond.
We had heard that there might be a chance of another sub, the likes of George Davis warming up on the sideline, but they've balked on that move.
That's the final window, so.
Yep, it's over and done.
Whoa, 12 minutes of stoppage time. We expected a big number, and that is brought to you by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
Well, you could hear the shouts on the sideline from both coaching staffs going, I've never seen anything like that. Didn't know they were referencing the number put up on the board just now.
Ball sent in. Lapa. Have you ever seen 12 minutes
Never.
of stoppage time?
Not even as a player. Not as a player, not an analyst, never. Never 12 minutes.
Considerations, Cano. Making it up now. We're making it up as you go.
It's Cano Smith doing battle with the fourth official.
What a topsy-turvy game we have had tonight. Early goal from Lou City. And a bit of a stalemate throughout the latter part of the first half and into the second half, and then the penalty really sparked things. With Chris Hubbard coming off his line early, the yellow card given, and then Nico Brett going back to the spot and then converting and equalizing. We've had some injuries, yellow cards.
Yeah, the rhythm has been off here in the second half after the penalty. The fans are out of it. The visitors have gotten back into it, and the home squad struggling for that top quality form we've seen in the past from Lou City. Sometimes you just got to find a way to edge through the darkness if you can.
Played wide. Can Lou City find a go-ahead goal? Right into the arms of Matt Van Oekel.
Cameron Lancaster expected this ball to be in the air, and it's kind of the frustration. He just pointed to the sideline because it's easy pickings for Matt Van Oekel to come off his line. It's a good ball whipped in, though. Nice pace. Keep it on the deck. Easy to just catch a little flick and redirect on the goal instead. Simple enough for Birmingham to pick up and go the other direction. If you're Lou City, you got to be real careful right now. With all of this time put back up on. If I'm sitting in a Birmingham jersey right now, I'm feeling really good about where we're headed. Obviously, in the postseason, we will end up with a draw, but they've definitely had the better run of form here in the second half.
On back, but there was a foul. Still over 7 minutes to go, at least. Trying to play it in behind for Ownby. James. Cronali. Tripped up. This will be a foul against Napo Masoso.
By the way, since the time is ticking off here, and I know that we're in the nitty-gritty of things, can we talk about the fact that FC Tulsa went on the road and beat Indy? 2-0, Joaquin Rivas with a brace.
Joaquin Rivas is off to a flying start.
It's not a bad effort, is it?
But he scored 2 goals against OKC a couple weeks ago.
4 in 3 games now.
It's quite a way to start the season. New signing for FC Tulsa.
Better settle down.
Familiar.
He's going to break the game. High score.
Kidding. Tulsa could factor into this Central Division, the likes of Indy and, of course, these two sides as well.
Well done. Good play out there from Louisville.
Swahi finds some space. Gomez played that behind McCabe. Failed clearance there by Van Oekel. Throw in now. Swahi. Lancaster trying to cut that back for Ownby. Dean is fouled. You can see some of that frustration coming out from Lou City in the second half. Things have just not quite gone their way. Still about 3.5 minutes at least to go, and the minimum of 12 minutes of stoppage time. If you're just tuning in here, flipping over from another game, yes, that is 12 minutes. That is not a typo. Played right over the top. Femu stepping in. Siadu. Watts wins it back, but quickly put out. Throw in now. Bone. Another misplaced pass.
I say we play 11 more and just get the overtime period over with.
Sure. You want to play golden goal while we're at it?
Second game of the year, why not? We've gone this far. Already seen penalty as well. Penalties, plural, should say.
There were two. There were two. The clock has struck 100 in Louisville. Still about 100 seconds to go. Here's James. Is there anything left in this match for either side? Been a hard-fought 100-plus minutes. Ownby still has some pace in his legs. Ownby, Gomez trying to square this ball. And out for a corner kick.
This is going to be it, Josh. This will be the last one for sure. And good on Jonathan Gomez to find another gear and another level of intensity. Very active on this left-hand flank all night long. And good on Brian Ownby for recognizing it as well. He knew he was isolated, had to wait for the run to develop. Easily turned into a two-man game.
McCabe punched away by Van Oekel. Bone wide for McCabe, who sends a long looping ball in. Tosh. That was touched by James. It was. Corner kick, Lou City. 30 seconds left. And it's Gomez who stands over this set piece. In swinger towards Van Oekel, an easy catch. That might do it. Just now waiting on the final whistle from Joshua Encarnacion. And there it is. So 102 minutes expire tonight at Linton Family Stadium. And the points are shared, one apiece between Lou City and Birmingham.
That's some kind of performance from both squads. Good on Louisville City. Danny Cruz wondering what the debut would be like. Set the standard early, got their goal, controlled the match into halftime. Conversation by Thompson about what the adjustments needed to be made. They were able to make them. And then the emotional roller coaster just took over in the second half. Up and down, left and right, side to side from both of these teams. They are let out of the stadium. And surprisingly not, we end up at 1-1.
Tonight's Dr. Mark Lynn and Associates man of the match is Jonathan Gomez, and he was really bright down that left side.
Very good. Again, such a young, talented player who, at 17 years of age, his 18th birthday is until September 1st. Gave you a real good idea of why he's represented both Mexico and the United States at the U16 and U17 youth national team level, why he's on that top 10 list of most talented and most costly, if you will, evaluated players within the United's youth system. Good performance out on the left side.
Here's tonight's Toyota move of the game. Let's go places. And it was that early goal, the 3rd minute from Pat McMahon.
Great job by Pat McMahon here. And it's not the best defending from Birmingham Legion because he's got a lot of room here. Mikey Lopez just cuts caught, ball watching. That's a zonal marking on the back post. Matt Van Oekel can't believe it. Pat McMahon can. Been there before, seen it before. 1-0. Lou City. Of course, we'd end up with a draw.
Well, we'll come back and wrap things up. A lot to wrap our heads around after this one. We played 102 minutes, but the points are shared at the end. It finishes Lou City 1, Birmingham Legion 1. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Summer's here, and with a great deal on a new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer sports, like softball, beach volleyball, triathlons, woo, racing, golf. Whoa! Someone needs lessons.
Get $750 customer cash on an adventurous new 21 RAV4. Or lease this RAV4 for just $199 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance included.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Push, 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 and relax.
One day, I just didn't feel good, and all of a sudden, I
couldn't move from the neck down. It's crazy how fast things can change for somebody.
At an age where kids start to gain independence, he lost his.
What I have is called acute flasthamyelitis. It's like a polio-like disease, and like it affects your spinal cord, and like it affects everybody differently, but it's mostly like paralysis. Like for me, it was from the neck down, but for other people, it might be your right arm or just your legs.
We're blessed to have COSAIR Charities and help us with these type visits that Shane desperately needs.
Many children could not be attending therapy here if we didn't have the COSAIR Kids program.
COSAIR has lifted a huge burden from us and allowed Shane to progress the way that he has. And without that, I don't know where we would be.
To apply for assistance or to support the COSAIR Kids program, go to cosair.org/kids.
Back to wrap things up from Lynn Family Stadium, the debut for Danny Cruz as the head coach of Lou City. It finishes 1-1 with Birmingham Legion. Let's take a look back at that 90 minutes, or 90 minutes plus if you want it. And we'll go back all the way to the 3rd minute, the opening goal. It was Pat McMahon off the corner kick, Corbin Bone the assist.
Usually good for about one a season, Pat McMahon. Why not get it done in the second game of the year? Good job rotating into the inside. Defensively poor for Birmingham Legion. They'll take it any way they can get it. And then what we thought was a bit of controversy turns out not whatsoever. Trailing leg by Pat McMahon on the left foot goes high on Nico Brett. So let's step up, right? Chris Hubbard. He feels like he's one of the best penalty savers in the league. Absolutely. Great save. He leaves early, though. That is controversy. No, it's not. He leaves early. Simple enough. Dissent, yellow card, dissent from Paolo Del Piccolo. Let's take it again. Nico Brett. Does he go the same way? Is he going to go back to his left-hand side? No. Goes to his right. That's his 50th USL Championship goal, 45th in the regular season. Only a few have joined that club. That gets them to 1-1, and they would take over a lot of the second half. Again, it was the quick-fire options moving forward. Love the transitional play. Jane Cervania had himself a kind of night, but it was the youngster, Jonathan Gomez, Jogo as they call him, had an opportunity to ice this thing at the tail end of it. But lest we forget that Matt Van Oekel, old reliable in net, the bearded man, fantastic save on the near post to keep this team knotted up at 1.
Final stats, the shots and possession in favor of Louisville, but in the end, nothing to split these two sides.
For a team in Louisville City that does such a good job at adapting to what's in front of them, they really moved away from that as the second half progressed. Birmingham Legion fought back into this, but it was their own emotion and energy that drove them to the opportunities to get them at to 1-1. Louisville City had control of this match. The possession battle, the shots, the score most importantly, and they let that slip away. This is a lost 3 points for Louisville and a gained draw for Birmingham Legion. They deserved it on the road.
So it was a hard-fought game back and forth. We had some controversy, shenanigans. We really had it all. 102 minutes in the end, but still no goals to split these two sides. It finishes 1-1. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Louisville. The points are shared in the Central Division.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.